So today, YouTube friends, we have to get rid of the sweet potato plants since we planted raspberry plants here, half of this raised bed, and now we have to remove all these sweet potato and be replaced with raspberry plants. And we'll be building or constructing trellis here for the raspberry plants to climb on later after we clean this area completely. YouTube friends, these are raspberries. And lately we have here the sweet potato, but we get rid of that. And now it's clean. And we'll add more raspberry plants from this air layered raspberry canes. So can you see that one inside the plastic where the roots fully develop after 3 to 4 months of marketing or air layering, and we have so much more marketed or air layered raspberry canes here. You can see that. Yeah, can you see that? Right? Yeah. And these are the raspberry plants that we're going to separate from the mother plant and be planted to that raised bed that we just cleaned out lately. And so here, YouTube friends, we will be building or constructing a trellis for our raspberry plants to climb on. So as you can see there, I'm still trying to figure out what could be the possible um, form of a trellis before I will be calling my wife to help me installing the PVC to connect them and form trellis for our raspberry plants. And I will be probably doing the same what I did for our string beans last season, so like that one. So this was the trellis that I made for the string beans in the last season, and I'll be planting cucumber on this side, and on the other side will be string beans again, and this will be the same form of the trellis that we will be building for our raspberry plants there. So at the moment, YouTube friends, we're here building a trellis for our raspberry, and it's not perfect, it's not good looking trellis, but what I'm trying to do here is at least we're helping our raspberry to have this trellis for their canes to climb on instead of struggling crawling on the ground. So these are the marketed raspberry plants we have here, YouTube friends, back in April 2020 this year. And now it's September, so it's around 4 months that these plants stuck in the respective plastic bags with compressed soil. So you can see a lot of roots fully developed within, and it's a good sign that these plants are really surviving and even thriving. And once they are planted directly to the ground, we can really expect good result. See the one, yeah, this one is quite long with its cane, and more raspberry plants. So it's around 8 plants that we will be taking out. We will be cutting from the main plants here and be added into that raised bed that we have already planted 8 raspberry plants 2 months ago, and those raspberry plants still from here, and it's around 32 or 33. I'm not really sure the one that survived. So we still have around 16 raspberry plants that still remain and connected to the main plant, because today we will get only 8 raspberry plants to be added there to fill in the whole raised bed. So, YouTube friends, before we end this video, I'd like to remind you, if you love videos about gardening, so please consider subscribing to our small YouTube channel, and please like and share and comment to the comment section, and also hit the notification bell so that you'll be updated for our next video. And here we are in our location. It's late afternoon here in Thailand, particularly in Canterbury. So take a look at that. A lot of roots developing. And yeah, we already made holes where we can place all our raspberry plants. And based on my research, because this is my first try, though we already bought the mother plant 2 years back, and still we're not able to see any fruits from the mother plant, because instead of allowing it to thrive, I always reproduce new plants through cloning or air layering, by layering or marketing uh, with the matured canes that I can see. So that's why we have these many raspberry plants right now, but I was not able to see any fruit yet. So hoping that this year or next year we'll be able to see some flowers that will be from these raspberry plants that we planted directly to the ground. Because as I researched, you need at least 5-gallon pots that big if you want to plant or grow raspberry plants in pots. But most of the farmers, most of the gardeners, they planted the raspberry plants or even blackberry or any kind of berries directly to the ground, because there's much soil and space to fully develop their network of roots down or underneath, and then more chances for them to thrive and be able to produce fruits. So besides that, this variety needs a lot of nitrogen, so adding chicken's manure and cow's manure is really a good thing. But be sure that you add chicken's manure which is nearly compost, not the fresh one, because it's extremely high in nitrogen and it can burn your plants if you apply fresh chicken's manure. And besides, maybe you have to wait at least a month later after planting, and with that you can be sure that your plants will not be affected in their growth. And instead of going to the shops, so you can reproduce your own raspberry plants through cloning the matured canes by air layering or marketing, and in that way you can less your expenses of going to shops buying more raspberry plants, and instead you're reproducing right at your own home using the matured canes from your raspberry plant. And that is the thing that I'm doing. And you have to build trellis as well, since critters and other insects will be enjoying the fruits if the canes just crawl on the ground. And there's a possibility that the canes also develop roots and will create more plants instead of giving you fruits. So you have to be creative. Anyway, my trellis is not that good. It's not perfect, but at least can help the raspberry canes to climb on, and using garden wire to assist them and provide them direction going up. And in that manner, uh, we will be seeing good result probably in the coming 2 years, or at least a year. So that's it, my friends, and I'd like to thank you once again for stopping by, spending your precious time, and watching our videos. And I hope that you will still stay in tune and get connected here. And see, um, we have new branches that starts to appear here 5 days from planting. So it's really giving us good result. And this other half here consists of 8 raspberry plants as well. These were planted last 2 months ago, and yeah, they're already thriving. But still, they need to be guided going up using garden wire. And okay, thank you for watching.